Hey, rock stars, welcome back to your favorite no bullshit podcast for contractors. This is the first podcast where we've brought in a rock star live in-house, okay? It's gonna be the best quality ever that we've had on podcasts, and I'm super excited to bring this to you guys, okay? I'm also excited to announce that we're also increasing the number of podcasts that we're releasing each month. We're gonna go from 4 to the big 8 per month. And we're going to release it every Tuesday and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's EST or EDT, depending on when you're listening to this. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe or like this video. And turn on those notification bells so you can get updated when we dish out some more tips that you can implement into your business. Now, we're doing our best to bring the best, and it helps us a lot when you do this. So please take 2 seconds and subscribe, okay? So without further ado, let's get into this. I'm here with my man, Gaetan, a legacy PFC client who is one of the clients I'm most proud of, okay? In this episode, we're gonna talk about how he took his dad's business over, which was a total gong show, doing things the old way and adapting it not only to be more efficient with systems, but how he built his business that's allowed him to actually have time with his family, take them to Disneyland, and how he put his foot down to say enough is enough and stop working into the night, okay? Anyways, enjoy the podcast, guys, and we are ready to go. See you soon. Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. I'm here with my man, Gaetan, and you know what? Gaetan, a very special client in a lot of different ways. I think one of the biggest things that allowed him to massively, increase his net profit, I believe, we went 1 year, we went from 10K to like almost 500K in net profit. And that's sort of going to be the theme here. But the mindset shift, I think that's one of the biggest challenges. So let's get into the mindset shift that a champion CEO needs. And so I'm going to start off by introducing Gaetan. So Gaetan, welcome, dude.
Thank you, Andrew. Welcome. Hello.
Hello, welcome. Yes, welcome myself. So, dude, tell us a little bit about your company. What kind of work do you guys do? Tell a little bit about, what kind of business it is, how it came all about.
Yeah, well, our business is, my father is the founder. He started in 1974. We're an insulation company. When I was younger, in my teenagers, I was working. That's where I got my experience how to insulate some houses with two kinds of systems. There's the fiberglass system and the blowing system in the attic.
Right.
And so through all my I would say high school and college, this is where I was working my summer jobs and got my experience. Then when college came, I went separate ways. One way I went for television broadcasting, but it wasn't for me. So I went in business administration just to learn how things goes back then. And we're going ages ago. And then, this is where I came full-time working with my father. And when he said around 1999, he says, listen, son, he needs to retire. Well, he was thinking about retiring. So I said, that's something maybe I'm interested in. So him and me, we brought the business to a different level.
Yeah.
His level.
Yes. Right.
So don't take me wrong. He did a good job by training me his way how to run the business back then in the end of the 90s. So and each year I was all our profits, while I was putting the money on the side to buy my shares. So I could say in 2004, officially, I became the owner.
Nice.
So my father retired, but there's a big way to say retired.
Yeah.
Okay? So I was still running the business in his house. He made a little sort of, 10 by... 15 by 15 little
office for you. Yeah.
And of course, he has his desk there too.
So, even though the business is yours,
yeah,
he was like over your shoulder still, right?
Well, yeah. He had the eye there. So I think it was a way to, if he was looking that I was doing a mistake or if I was going on the wrong side, well, it's a way for him to say, and he was just grabbing back my shoulder and say, no, do it this way.
I mean, he had the right intention, right?
Oh, yeah.
But with that being said, we're talking here about mindset. I'll never forget, and this business has been around since 1974. 1974. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and he did started from scratch. He lost big money, like he gained some money. So
yeah, but it was a roller coaster, right?
A really big roller coaster.
And let me get this right: the mindset. Let's just reflect on, because it's really important. I want you guys to understand the mindset shift that you need to be aware of. The mindset shift that you need to be willing to change. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges for owners is getting their mind in the right place. And so, you take a look at your dad, it was a part of the solution, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just things weren't going well. You just work harder.
Very hard, yes. And the priority was working.
Right.
Working. And just to conclude my little history, I met my wife at the end of the 90s. We got married in 2002. I had my first son in 2003.
Nice.
So everything was at the same time.
Yeah.
So in 2004, I was the owner with a wife and a son.
Right.
And this is where it was not chaos, but it was like a workaholic. I was working long hours, not seeing the family. Then the second child was my first daughter. Then a third child came, his second son, and fourth child was another daughter. So
and the same, your dad was at that point, teaching you the principle. And listen, let's not put that down from the perspective of there's a lot of people out there that aren't willing to put in the hours. They're not willing to work hard. Okay, mm-hmm. So I don't want anybody listening to this to think that you're going to get where you want to go without working hard. Mm-hmm. Working hard, exceptionally hard, as an owner is part of wearing the badge of becoming a champion CEO. But it's putting that effort in the right places, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, with the right mindset that allows that effort to be valued, allows it to be not wasted. And in your case, you were being told by your dad that, if you want to have a successful business, that just comes with the territory. Like, that's just the way it is. Things slow down. You got to work harder and harder and harder and harder. And at the sacrifice of yourself, and at the sacrifice of your family. I mean, look, we don't need to go too deep. But I do believe that your parents didn't work out, right?
No, they didn't work out.
Right. I don't know if any of it had to do with,
it's nothing to hide. My father wasn't there for us.
Right. He was a workaholic, basically.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you see, everybody listening in on this, that's what gets taught. Okay, is like being a workaholic is like part of being an owner, and I'm going to call bullshit on that. Working really hard for a period of time to get to a certain point and accomplish certain things and build certain foundational principles, that makes sense. Yeah. But to make it part of your life for your whole life or the life of the business, that's a crazy, crazy sacrifice. And by the way, I want you to understand this, guys. I'm not a know-it-all, but I went through similar struggles that you did. I was told the same thing. I came from a family of entrepreneurs, and they just said, "Well, you just have to work harder. You have to work harder." And I never forget coming home and I'm like, "Man, I've just put in 80, 90 hours, and I'm being told I have to work harder." Mm-hmm. Chest pains, not seeing my kids, stress, and I'm like, There's no way. There's got to be a better way. There is a better way. So the old way of just becoming a workaholic is, let's talk a little bit about that. So, some of the things that you looked at differently, first of all, your dad didn't support the coaching.
No, well, that's it. So how did it start? I had a good supplier that they were just in front of us, and we were high school buddies as well.
Yeah.
And his dad was the same generation as my dad.
Yeah, that's right. His dad actually didn't want Profit for Contractors to help his son. Actually, I never forgot. We should have Yvonne in here someday. Yeah. Same mindset.
Yeah. Same thing. Same kind of business, because they supply
the installation.
They supply, and
right.
us we.
But they used to be installers.
Yes, they were.
That's
yes,
right. That's right.
Yes.
So, by the way, that puts stress on
Yvonne,
right? Like so same thing, right? But similar scenario with the father and the family. He was never there for the family.
That's it.
Just like and by the way, I don't think that these people want that, right? They don't want to be away from their family. No. But that's what they've been taught, is like, this is what you have to do, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And they're actually in their mind, they're doing it for the family, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Like, think about this. You're imagine how frustrating that must be for them, right? That
it could affect mentally.
Mental, like seriously, I can see mental illness, like for a lot of people thinking this way, because you're putting in all this time, you're putting in all these hours. It's not like you're on a holiday, and then it doesn't work out with the family. You look like the bad guy.
That's it,
right? And then the marriage doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. You don't end up probably with the kids, but then you still got this headache of the business, and you got to keep supplying. So now you're stuck in this vortex that you can't get out, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about breaking the cycle.
Yep.
So you said, Dad, I'm an owner of this business, and I'm decided that I'm going to get help.
Yeah,
sure.
That's it. Well, that's it. So basically, before I say that to my father, this is where my supplier sat with me and said, "Listen, I think I know this person," and he was talking about you, that could help you out if you want to bring your business.
Because we brought his business to the next level.
That's it.
Right.
Exactly. So it's all mindset.
Right.
We cannot expect to hire, let's say, you. And my business will change with a click of a
finger. By the way, everybody listening in, there's no magic wands.
No.
Okay.
No. You have to be ready for it.
You do. If you want something to last, you have to, back to putting in the time and the energy, you have to make sure the things that you put in get put in the right order. There's a sequence, right, Gaetan?
That's right.
Okay. In the right order, such that they stick. Not in the right order. I mean, that's one of the biggest ones. Everybody's like touching this. They're trying to put out all these freaking fires.
Yep.
Right? I use this analogy really quickly. I talk analogies all the time. You walk into a store. Say it's a coffee shop. There's water all over the floor. And all the employees, they're cleaning up the floor. And they're cleaning, and they're working hard. Now they're calling in even more people to clean up the floor. Their mission is to make sure that the place is safe and make sure that the floor is dry.
Yep.
That's what they keep doing, over and over and over. Some guy comes walking in, walks over to the tap, turns off the tap. They go, "What are you doing? We need help drying the floor." He says, "I understand you do. You need to turn off the tap. Otherwise, you're never going to have a dry floor." That's the same with your business. If you don't figure out where the leaks in profit are, picture it being the tap. What's that?
You'll never resolve the problem.
You won't. You'll just be putting in more hours, trying to clean up this mess, clean up that mess, right?
And you're not moving forward.
Right. You're dealing with the symptom, not the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So you ended up getting help.
Yep. Okay. So this is where I met you.
Right.
And you sort of, I don't know, you asked me some right questions. Not right. You try to understand how I am.
That's correct.
And this is how you were able to help me out. So, and lots of times you didn't have the answers. You were just hearing me, and what I was saying, you were just asking the right questions, and my answers. So basically, I had already those answers. They were just behind my head, but
that's right.
It never came out.
That's correct.
So this is where your help came, like unbelievable helpful.
Right. So everybody listening in, it's really difficult, just like in the game of golf or anything like that, or any sport that you play. It's impossible to see yourself playing the sport.
Yeah.
Live, real time. Okay. Yeah, you can go watch a video, but to watch it real time, if you want to change the game and you want to get results, right? Looking at the video afterwards, it might improve your game, and it's highly recommended. Just like looking at your financials and think that would be an example, right? You're looking at numbers that have been generated historically. And trying to make better decisions for the future. That's all fine and dandy. But there's certain aspects of your business, like right now, you're listening in and your business is running real time.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't get a true assessment of what is going on with the business while it's running, in other words, while you're swinging the club or playing this game called business, you're not going to see the shit that you need to see.
Yep.
It's impossible. So you need somebody, like I said, guys, whether it's prop for contractors, if you want to click down below, raise your hand, hey, this is making sense. I've been trying to solve these problems that I've had forever, and these symptoms keep on coming back. If that's you, think about the little analogy I did about the fucking water. Okay? You're not going to solve the problem because you're dealing with the symptoms. Okay? And so that's where we're at, right? So, with that being said, let's get into some of these things. So, one of the things that we assessed, and we're gonna be doing a couple other podcasts here, breaking it into more smaller chunks. Again, we're focusing on mindset. So, one of the mindset shifts, everybody, is you need to know the order in which you have to approach things.
That's it.
So, if you guys want to write this down, draw yourself a little diagram. You need to know where you're at on what's called the contractor's ladder of success. Okay. So everybody, there's 5 different levels. I'll be really quick with it. If you have a call with one of our team members, we're going to assess where you're at. It's just like if I became an electrician. I know some of you guys listening in. I'm actually a tradesperson, had my own automation company. Basically, I call it, I automated my business with the right principles and got it to run without me, and I sold it. So, when you're looking at this contractor's ladder of success is like looking at an apprenticeship, right? If you're going to assess somebody, they're going to come and work for you. Somebody might say, I'm a 5th term apprentice, but after you assess them properly, you realize their knowledge is only a 3rd term. That's pretty important. You might have somebody say they're a licensed electrician. They might only be a 4th term apprentice, right? You've got to assess each business separately, but the order is still the same, okay? So if you drew a pyramid, the baseline would be startup, okay? That's like starting the business. Now you can have 150 employees, but the foundational principles that you need are at startup level. Okay, are you pricing your freaking jobs profitably? Right? Are you communicating with the right systems to know step by step how a job gets done? In other words, are your jobs getting done? In the way that the client goes, hey, you did what you promised, or is it like a fucking roller coaster? Right? So. Next, I'll just go to the next level really quickly. So startup, then there's survival. Survival is you get more and more business, and you're like, hey man, everything's great. But the problem is, you're in survival because, as you know, if you don't manage things properly, the more and more work you get for a contractor means there's more and more cash that you have to manage. See, unless you've got somebody that's an expert in contracting, right? They don't know this stuff. So Gaetan, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got to pay for the material up front, don't you?
Yep.
How much does that cost?
Well, a lot.
Yeah. How much would you say a month you spend on material?
Today?
Yeah.
well,
just rough.
Well, I would say 80 to 1,000.
80,000.
No, 80 to 1,000.
Oh, 80. What do you mean 80 to 1,000?
80.
No, I mean every month. How much would you spend?
Yeah,
a month?
I would say 80. 100.
So 8,000.
Yep.
8,000.
No, more than that. 80.
So 80,000.
Sorry, I'm French.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, no problem. Perfect. Sorry, that's okay.
80.
That's what I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of money there.
So $80,000. Yeah. So $80,000 in material you got to fork out before he even gets any money on that, guys. Okay, you got to pay your guys.
Yep.
How much is payroll roughly?
25.
There you go. Another 25
grand.
Okay. Again, he hasn't made a penny on that, guys. And
Zero.
you know, as a contractor, this applies to you.
Yep.
Okay. Then there's the taxes. You got to pay the tax man.
Yeah.
Right. All that.
The tax comes back, but
Yeah, but still, you got to fork
you
that
have
out.
to fork.
Right.
That's right. Yep.
So, guys, we're talking in his case over 100 and say 40 plus $150,000 a month. Now,
Yep.
now think about this. You've got to manage your cash flow. So, at survival, it's either going to put you into bankruptcy or you're just going to be surviving and you never leave that. Right? You got no money in the bank. You just
Yep.
crawling along, surviving. Next level is stability. We've put the right principles in place. We've put the right systems in place. We've put the right people in place with the right roles and responsibilities so that they know what the fuck it is they're supposed to be doing and how the job gets done.
Yep.
That we can actually put leaders in place. You were at my place. There was a leader on the job site.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys watched it, but we did a Facebook Live, right? Leaders on the job site.
Yep.
So,
And those leaders they're proud to be like leaders because they know their stuff too. So
Totally.
and sometimes they know more than me because they're working in that each minute, each second.
Exactly.
So like I got lots of stuff in my head. So it's good that those leaders know what they're exactly. So they could be called a professional in what they're doing. So.
you got it. And how important is that? Let's touch on that.
Very important.
How important is it that your guys on your job site know what their roles and responsibilities are?
Well, very. Like, we'll give the example like today. They're finishing up your job. So it's way in Caliboogie, and I don't need to be there today. So I know they're going to be finishing.
Dude, that is awesome. Like, think about this. Let's just come back to mindset. Now, the old mindset is that the owner needs to be on the job sites, going job to job, because you can't trust anybody. Is that true?
That's true. Well, that's before, yeah.
Right. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, before, that's
How
it.
chaotic was that?
Chaotic. I mean, today I see it was a waste of time for me. Doing all the jobs around it. This is ridiculous. The key man should know what they're doing. Of course, there's little curveballs here and there. But those key man, they don't need to call me because I don't know. Look at this. There's just a wire, but it's the fixture of the electricity is not there, so
Yep.
we cannot put the insulation there. So what are they going to call me? Come on, I'm here with you, and we're doing this. I mean, call the site super or call the GC. So today they all have phone, text. They love to text all the time. Well, there you go. So they text the site super saying, "Hey, do you have a minute? Come here," or just a photo. Hey, click.
Because, by the way, you have systems, you have software. People not only know their roles, but you have software so people know how many items they're supposed to be checking off, what they're supposed to be doing, what they're not supposed to be doing on that job, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, this is one of the first times for me that I've experienced this. So this is pretty special. Now, I've heard it on the phone, but the fact is, and I never even put this together, that your crews are out finishing my job right now today, okay? And Gaetan, this has not been scripted, anybody. I think you guys got that by now. Gaetan's in here, and he's as chilled as I've ever seen him, okay? Which, by the way, was never the case.
Oh, no.
He used to be stressed out all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Right, dude?
Yeah, and the phone would have been ringing all
That's
the
right.
time.
That's right. And I used to. By the way, anybody gets coached by us, I'm going to tell you a bit of an eye opener. If you're taking phone calls, and you're looking at your computer and you're looking at your phone, what was the response, Gaetan, when you used to do that?
Excuse me, I need to take the phone, and you take the call and you interrupt what you're doing. So
Right, but would I get upset?
Of course.
Right, I'd say, hey, my time is fucking valuable. If you're not going to be focused for this half an hour call or this hour call or whatever that time is that we allocated, then we get a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another part of mindset, right? Yeah. So we've covered off a couple of mindset things here. One is working harder and working like a dog and working, like a workaholic is not going to solve your problems.
No.
Right, Gaetan?
No.
Okay.
Well, if you keep your business at that level.
Well, even still, it's not going to work out because you're going to sacrifice all your time away from your family.
There you go. Yeah. So it depends if the person wants to choose that. Well,
yes,
that's
true.
That's their problem.
That's true.
If they want their mindset to be changed and be higher, they want to go to the next level.
Yep.
Well, they have to start somewhere.
You got it, too. Totally agree. So you got to start thinking that, you got to start realizing that there's a recipe for this, and there's an order, and your business is the principles are the same. Every business is different, and whether it's profit contractors that you have a call with, or somebody else, you need somebody to properly see how your business is running from an outside perspective. Otherwise, how the frick are you going to know what's the difference between symptoms and problems? So that's one. Other thing we talked about, was the mindset of the crews. The mindset of like that you can't trust them. You got to be on every single job site, right?
Yep.
That's bullshit, right? If you got to be in every single job site, then you don't have systems in place. Would you agree?
No, exactly. You need systems. You need leaders, and they could do it all. Like even today, if you ask me when's the last time I went to a job site, well, it was yours, and that's it. I mean,
because it was special, right?
Oh,
right?
of course. Then yours, it's
that's right.
special. It's
it was awesome, right?
That's it.
Got you to come out and see, the fruits of profit contractors growing as well, right? Like
that's it.
You're profitable. Profit contractors profitable. Fucking what kind of coaching company would we have if we're not, right?
Yeah.
So there's that mindset. Last mindset I just want to touch on right now. Actually, before I move on to that, let's just wrap it up with time with family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that call that we had. And they try and just keep it nice and tight.
Yeah, so it was, last year?
Yeah.
If you're talking about that special dream of mine, it was one of my goals to go to Disney with the family.
And you kept on pushing it out.
Oh, yeah.
Until what happened?
Until I put my foot down and said, okay, this is going to happen.
Right.
And within 6 months, everything was organized and everything. So,
do you remember when that happened?
Well, we went in 2019. So
yeah, but do you remember what caused you to put the foot down? Do you remember that or no?
I know we had a call.
Yes, and you said, yeah, I'm going to take the kids to Disney this year.
Yeah.
I said, that's not good enough. You went, what?
Yeah.
I said, when? And you went, well, this year. No. When? Right?
Yeah, I remember.
And I forced you to pick a date.
Yep.
Guys, this is really important. Stop saying when. Stop saying tomorrow.
Open your Outlook, put it in the calendar.
Yes.
And pinch it.
Default your family.
That's good. And that's what happened.
Right.
And we planned it. It happened. And the last thing is a week just before we go, we had one last call.
Yep.
And still, I thought I would take only 2 minutes just to say, have a good vacation, enjoy. No, you were there just to bring my mindset to go there. Mm-hmm. And if I wouldn't have that phone call, I wouldn't even enjoy my Disney vacation.
Yep.
Just because we had that call. And I could roughly say what we were talking about. It was just, now you have to look with your eyes and enjoy the moment. Yes. And don't be stressful for that. Don't go like, we have to be there at what time? Because I had to plan my rides and all that, and it was stress with me. I was all stressed just to go there. And this is where you brought me to this level to say, no. Just relax. You do this, you do this. Well, you didn't say do it, but you just proposed to me that's what we have to do, and this is what I've done. And I really enjoy my vacation. And I still remember all the special little moments, especially when we saw those fireworks at the Magic Kingdom.
Right.
And I was filming everyone was filming those firecrackers. Yeah. And I was filming too, but the one thing I said is, hey, I'm not enjoying the moment. So I remember what you say, enjoy the moment. So, okay. So then I was just looking at my family, especially my little girl. The firecrackers were wonderful. But what I saw in my daughter's eyes, this is what I feel. My daughter's looking up there, and you were seeing the firecrackers in her eyes. Unbelievable.
Special, right?
It was special.
If you're listening in on this, I mean, it makes my eyes water, because I'll never forget, I had the advantage of coaching Gaetan specifically to Disney, because I had taken my kids at a very young age. And I said, Gaetan, these are a couple of places that you want to pay attention to, okay? Something's going to happen. I didn't tell them what was going to happen. Something's going to happen. You need to look at your kids' eyes when this happens. And so if you're listening in and you've had too many vacations where you can't even remember what what happened. If the only thing you remember is picking up your phone and checking your taxes, then you get a problem. Okay, so your mindset when you go on vacation is huge. Okay,
yes.
And I think let's wrap it up with that. So guys, getting yourself in the right mindset, the old way versus the new way. What would you say would be some tips for people if they're like, yeah, I don't know if I should raise my hand. I don't know if I should. If this really bullshit, or like what would you say to them? What would be your 2 cents?
Well, I would say go what you want and not what others wants. So if you want to bring your business to the next level, you can do it. Get the right tools, get the right things, and don't take it wrong. Like my father wasn't wrong, but I mean, you have to trust your own instincts. Your answer it's in your head. The answers is in your head. Sometimes you need a good guide or a good coach, just so you get your own answers. And that's how you helped me, like, unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, it's one thing to change the lives of people with their bottom line, right? We dramatically did that with you, right? And we'll get into that in another podcast on more specifically around the numbers and what have you. But it comes back to the mindset that I've always had, which is your profits pay for your freedom, your mental freedom, your freedom to hire the right people, your freedom to put in the right systems, your freedom to go on vacations, your freedom to be able to go and enjoy life instead of like fucking working, right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, if you're looking at, if you're struggling with mindset, then guess what? You don't need to, right? Click the link below, get some help. If you like this podcast, like it, do the like thing, share it with whoever you like, and we'll go from there. That's it. See you later, guys. Ciao. See you on the flip side. Until the next freaking podcast. Ciao. Now that was a doozy. Thanks for watching the podcast. Listen, I'm so happy to have you here. You guys are awesome, right? I mean, I think you are, right? I know you guys love this podcast. There's going to be another one with my man, Gaetan, next Tuesday, December the 1st. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you get the little baby ding bell on your phone, right? When we release a new episode. So this is Andrew Houston from Prof for Contractors. I'm signing off. Catch you on the flip.